All right, folks, I have a pretty interesting news that I'm really excited about, when it comes to what is happening behind the scenes with the AMC. That is kind of forecasting, giving us a hint about in the near future, we might see a total reversal and see the share price starting to, trend back up and start flying higher and higher. All right. So I'm going to share with you something that I actually borrowed from a fellow YouTuber, Al from Boston. Hey Al, so he's he started recently covering AMC and GameStop, and he dropped some pretty interesting analysis on both of these stocks. So I'm going to share with you it's what we call a Bloomberg terminal. So a Bloomberg terminal is really one of the Bible when it comes to market data on everything and everything on financial markets, not only in the US but really globally. This is one of the main used tools in the market on the street. And that's why, it's not a surprise that the guy who created this, Michael Bloomberg, and former New York City mayor, is one of, the richest men on earth. All right. This is one of the tools that I used to work with when I was, working for an investment bank in Europe as a professional trader, as a bond trader. Yes. If you don't know, I work within this industry, within this business. Yeah. And I used to be a professional trader. So what I'm going to share with you here is about AMC stock. You can see at the top left hand here, right, we have AMC US equity, and then we're looking at all holders, pretty much everybody from the suits, the institutions that are holding AMC, all right, AMC stock. So besides Credit Suisse adding to its position nearly, averaging up to 742,000 shares, I really want to focus on what we call the insiders. The insiders are really those, people that are close or part of what you call the board of directors, or the management, the top management, really the guys, the CFO, the CEO, the COO, the CCO, people that are really managing the companies. And because these guys have access to, some information, some level of information that nobody else have. I mean, people working or some of the type of employees, just because these are the guys, again, managing and taking decisions that were going to affect the course of the company. All right. So that's why it's really interesting to kind of track what these guys are doing. And the Form 4 is really the legal documents they use to disclose to the SEC and other authorities what they're doing, whether they're selling or whether they're buying. So we can see here we have, Goodman Sin, Connor Kevin, and then we have Adam Aaron. Adam Aaron actually increased to 421,000 shares. He's the CEO, all right, and the president. We also have underneath Colonaro Stephen A, 50,000, and then we have Frank Elizabeth First, another 50,000 share that added to the positions. And then we have Shavera Kara C, 20,000. Then we have Chris A, 50,000, and the list goes down. So all of these guys, they know that something is about to happen, or they have access to that type of information that gives them enough confidence for them to actually buy the stock, especially after what, right now that we have the price being very, very, very low. All right. We are on the 20s and the stock is not really doing anything for the last 2-3 days. Now look at what insider buying is really interesting. All right. As I mentioned to you, the definition is purchase of shares in a corporation by a director, an officer, or an executive within the company. Understanding insider buying. Insider buying is not a crime when the buying is based on public information. Additionally, since insiders have unique insights into their own companies, they often gobble up shares when they believe the stock is undervalued. That's why people pay attention to insider buying. Why in the heck will they buy stock for a company they manage if they don't have confidence enough or access to a certain level of information that are gonna give them, that confidence that, hey, this thing is about to change course. So we rather take a position now, especially after they sold. Yeah, Adam Aaron sold some shares. All of these guys that I mentioned sold some shares earlier, but because executives and people or the top management of any company, it doesn't matter, Apple, Tesla, AMC, they sell shares for sometimes personal reasons, not because they don't trust in the future of the company, especially at the end of the year or usually around the end of a quarter. Sometimes it has to do with taxes, right? Because these guys, they make a lot of money, so they have to also manage the money a certain way, not like you and I will do or the average Joe on the street. So based on this, I'm pretty bullish because, yeah, it gives me another hint that, hey, maybe they know something that we don't yet, all right? And that's why they're positioning themselves now to be early enough that whatever happens for the stock price to start tracing back up again, they make a lot of money. And then maybe they will sell again. Nobody knows. But if you ask me, this is pretty bullish, my friend.